What you're looking at right now was once considered beyond saving. This 1966 Dodge Charger sat buried under rust, corrosion, and decades of neglect. Most people would have written it off as scrap. But every creak you hear, every flake of rust falling away, tells a different story. This isn't just a rebuild, it's a resurrection. No loud music, no talking, just pure, satisfying restoration sounds as raw metal slowly returns to life. The question is, can a car this broken truly come back better than new? Stay until the end to see how far this transformation really goes. Before we get into the real transformation, it's important to understand what this car represents and why bringing it back matters. The 1966 Dodge Charger wasn't just another car, it was Dodge's bold statement in the golden era of American muscle. With its long fastback roofline, aggressive stance, and V8 attitude, the Charger was designed to look fast even when standing still. It targeted buyers who wanted style, power, and presence, all wrapped into one unmistakable silhouette. But time hasn't been kind to most of these cars. Decades of weather, neglect, and hard driving turned many Chargers into rusted shells, abandoned in garages or fields. This particular example is one of the car that had lost its shine, its strength, and almost its future. At first glance, it looks like a project too far gone, with corrosion eating into the body and age showing in every panel. That's what makes this restoration so compelling. This isn't a quick refresh or cosmetic cleanup, it's a full revival of a classic that once defined an era. Every sound you'll hear, every piece that's removed or restored, plays a role in returning this Charger to its former glory. As we move deeper into the process, you'll see how raw metal, worn components, and faded details slowly come together to recreate something special step by step, piece by piece. And the real question is, can this battered classic truly live up to its legendary name once again? This is where the transformation truly begins, and where things get interesting. As the layers come off, the real condition of this 1966 Dodge Charger slowly reveals itself. Panels that once looked solid start to show hidden corrosion. Bolts resist removal after decades of being frozen in place. Every scrape, tap, and grind produces those raw, metallic ASMR sounds that tell the story better than words ever could. The exterior is the first major challenge. The Charger's long body panels are iconic, but they're also unforgiving. Even minor warping or rust damage stands out immediately. As the rust is stripped away, you can see where time has eaten into the metal and where careful craftsmanship is needed to bring those sharp lines back. Watching fresh steel replace decayed sections is both satisfying and tense, because one wrong cut could ruin the proportions that make this car special. Mauve, inside, and the contrast becomes even more dramatic. The interior starts off tired and lifeless, cracked surfaces, faded materials, and parts that haven't moved smoothly in years. Piece by piece, everything comes out. As components are cleaned, repaired, or replaced, the cabin slowly regains its identity. You can almost imagine what it must have felt like to sit inside this Charger when it was new, surrounded by bold styling and that unmistakable muscle car presence. Under the hood is where anticipation really builds. This generation of Charger was all about power and attitude, and restoring that spirit is critical. Old parts are carefully inspected, cleaned, and rebuilt. Every reassembled component brings the car one step closer to running the way it was meant to. Even without hearing the engine yet, you can feel that moment approaching, and that's what keeps you watching. Of course, not everything is smooth. Some parts take longer than expected. Some problems only appear once, others are fixed. That tension, the back and forth between progress and setbacks, is what makes the restoration compelling. You're constantly wondering whether the final result will justify the effort. Time and precision being poured into every detail. As the Charger starts to look whole again, the pace quickens. Fresh surfaces replace rust. Clean components replace worn-out ones. The car begins to shift from a forgotten relic into something recognizable, something powerful. But appearances can be deceiving, and the biggest question still hasn't been answered. Because looking restored is one thing, proving it's truly worthy of the Charger name is another. And that final reveal is closer than you think. This is the moment everything has been building to. After weeks of careful work, endless adjustments, and countless quiet hours in the garage, the 1966 Dodge Charger finally stands whole again. The paint reflects light smoothly across those long sculpted panels. Chrome catches the eye without overpowering the design. From a distance, it already looks like a car pulled straight from another era. But looks alone aren't enough. The real test is what happens when the Charger comes to life. As the final connections are made and the key turns, there's a brief pause, then the unmistakable sound of a classic American V8 waking up. It's deep, mechanical, and honest. Not overproduced, not filtered, just raw power returning after decades of silence. In that instant, it's clear this restoration wasn't just cosmetic. The car feels alive again. On the move, the transformation becomes undeniable. The Charger no longer feels fragile or uncertain. It rolls with confidence, responds smoothly, and carries itself the way a muscle car should: solid, composed, and full of presence. Every vibration, every subtle sound adds to the experience, reminding you that this is a machine built in a very different time. And yet, there's an unexpected realization here. Restoring a classic like this isn't about making it perfect by modern standards. It's about preserving its character, its imperfections, its weight, its personality. That's the turning point. The Charger doesn't try to be something new. It succeeds by being exactly what it was always meant to be. Now, with the hardest part behind us and the results finally clear, one question remains. Was all this effort truly worth it, and who is this restored Charger really for? So here's the final verdict. This 1966 Dodge Charger restoration succeeds not because it turns an old car into something modern, but because it brings a legend back exactly as it was meant to exist. From the revived body lines to the restored mechanical soul, this Charger proves that craftsmanship and patience still matter in an age of shortcuts and quick fixes. The biggest strength here is authenticity. The car looks right, feels right, and sounds right. It delivers the presence and character that made classic American muscle so iconic in the first place. On the flip side, this kind of restoration isn't for everyone. It demands time, attention, and a deep appreciation for analog driving. There are no modern conveniences, no digital safety nets, just you, the machine, and the road. That's exactly why this Charger still matters in today's US car culture, as modern vehicles become quieter, more automated, and more disconnected. Restorations like this remind us why people fell in love with cars to begin with. They influence a growing trend toward preservation, rest, and hands-on ownership where experience matters more than specs on paper. This restored Charger is best suited for enthusiasts who value heritage, collectors who understand long-term value, and drivers who want a car that tells a story every time it moves. It's not about daily practicality, it's about emotion, identity, and respect for automotive history. And now, the real question goes to you. Would you choose a fully restored classic like this over a brand new performance car? Or is modern convenience still king? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if you enjoyed the journey, and subscribe for more immersive restorations and car stories that go beyond the surface.